I can do really good ball manipulations with my hand, but I can never do it with the coins. I've practiced for just as long with both. But for some reason, my fingers just gravitate towards...
Your hands just naturally work balls better.
They do,
Than coins.
I can juggle them, toss them around, do whatever.
Well, because I suppose it's a thing when someone knows you're a magician, they say, "Oh, do a trick."
Yeah, but if you say, "Oh, do a trick," it's the automatic response. If you're a comedian, tell a joke.
I think the answer is, should you be able to do a trick of anything? And his answer is yes. My answer would be no.
Anytime, anywhere.
Yeah, I think the answer is no.
Well, that's interesting because magicians tell me, or some do, that people expect that if you're a magician, you should be able to do it anytime, anywhere, and you're saying no.
My answer's no. But what's your answer? What would you say to that?
I think you can do something, but it's not necessarily the best thing to see for the first time.
No, I would agree with that as well. You could probably do it with anything, but whether you should or not is a different story entirely. I don't think you should have to do a trick just on the spot because someone's asked you to.
The idea is that if somebody approached you naked on a beach and said, "Do a trick,"
it's like,
"Oh, give us a towel."
I mean, I don't want to ruin anything for anyone, but magic, you don't... when a cup disappears, it's not actually magic. People aren't wizards. And I'm not saying you shouldn't be able to do magic on the spot. I'm saying that you shouldn't have to do it on the spot.
You said, what, not expected to do it on the spot?
Yeah, I don't think you should be. I wouldn't expect to go and see an illusion and say, do a magic trick on the spot, and then they have to do a card trick. I think
if you say, "Oh, I'm a comedian," tell us a joke, because they know that you don't need any props. Whereas if you say, I keep referring because it's easy to, I'm a musician, they don't say, "play us something," because you haven't got the instrument on you. So I think you're recognising the fact that you need props in order to do a trick. If you're that good, you don't need props, kind of a thing. So the element of props comes into it, because if you were a real magician, you'd be able to just do as I say when I say it. They used to do it with Houdini all the time. People would just turn up and handcuff him and expect him to get out of it.
People can ask for someone to do a trick, but they shouldn't challenge people on the spot to do a trick. But if you're like a stage magician or you've got your own routine, I think it doesn't. I just don't think it's a requirement.
How I treat it is, how rude is the person being? Oh, you're a magician, show us a trick. No, why should I? You're rude. Whereas if it's, you do magic. Can you show me a trick, please? That's completely different. It's saying the same thing, but from a completely different, whether it's belittling or that respectful. I like to show someone the exact same trick every time I perform with a particular type of cards, because I know they're going to have the best experience. And it's a bit like, again, referring back to a comedian with a joke, is that you want it to be in there's context, there's situation where the best environment because the environment helps towards the performance.
If someone's an illusionist and they have a setup, then that's their setup, that's their job, that's their show, that's their routine.
Yeah, I could do a load of tricks if somebody just came up to me anytime, anywhere. But I wouldn't want to, because I want them to see a better trick. Because I think once you show the first trick somebody sees you, it's like first impressions. If they're fooled by that and floored by it and they enjoy it and they love it, then anything else you do they're going to love.
Yeah.
Whereas if the first thing you do is, then they're not going to hang around to see anything else. You have to show them your best stuff first, I think.
Yeah.
So it's not good enough to just do it off on the fly.
Yeah.
They deserve a better performance for the first one. The first time.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to answer. Saying if you're a card magician, that doesn't necessarily mean you're an illusionist. It doesn't necessarily mean you're one of these psychological magicians. So say if you can play a guitar, it doesn't mean you can play a cello, but there's still music. You can still play the same song. But so there's different kinds of magician. There must be.
Yeah.
Especially, yeah.
I mean, I don't know how to pronounce it. I can do stuff with ball manipulations that I can't do with coins.
First. That's great with his ball manipulations.
I can do really good ball manipulations with my hand, but I can never do it with the coins. I've practiced for just as long with both. But for some reason, my fingers just gravitate towards...
Your hands just naturally work balls better.
They do,
Than coins.
I can juggle them, toss them around, do whatever. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and you'll be notified of our latest videos.